Welcome to 9 on the positive side, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this weekend. We have so much good news to make you smile. We're starting across the state in Trinity. We all need a little help along the path of life. Chad Tucker is introducing us to a Vietnam veteran who's carving out a way to do just that.
I found this stick the other day, and I don't know where it's going to end.
Ron Minchie is carving himself a niche.
When they're green, the bark comes off better. You got to think about what you're doing here. It just takes your mind away from anything that's going on in the world.
In the summer of 2022, the Vietnam veteran started making walking sticks.
What I like about this one, it twisted it.
Like these.
You have to look at the stick and say, this is what I want out of that stick.
It takes him about 12 hours to turn wood.
That's the reason I started epoxying them on.
Of all sizes, typically wrapped in a vine.
Anything that's got a vine on it, I love the vines.
Into walking sticks.
I got one for Bigfoot, and I got one for a short person.
Now, I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
That's a tall walking stick right there.
Yeah.
He picked up the craft as a way to escape from the trauma of war and take a break from caring for his ailing wife.
And I come out here when the weather's decent and just work on my stick. Just a straight stick.
Oh, yeah.
He finds beauty in the imperfection.
Right here still has a little rough on it right there.
And like his father told him, when it came to anything, he puts his heart in it.
Yeah, when I got my granddaughter to paint it, but I did all this.
With leather to give it a grip and a dime to mark the year, he's hoping they'll help others traveling the paths of life.
If you do something, do it right. Don't just half do it right, or you stay home.
In Trinity,
I just let my imagination take over.
North Carolina.
You try to do it the best you can.
I'm Chad Tucker.
And I'm gonna probably cut it here so I'll get most of it.
It really is impressive. A Kinston police officer is receiving an award for his bravery. Check this out. Sergeant Andrew Willis stepped in between an armed suspect and a 4-year-old child while making an arrest, stopping a possible hostage situation. Willis was given the Medal of Valor for placing the safety of others before his own safety. He says he's humbled to have the law enforcement community support him.
It just means a lot, given the award and everything, but more importantly, taking care of the little girl, and then just knowing that my guys with the SWAT team, the guys with the Lenore County Sheriff's Office, having my back, as well as the patrol officers that were there.
Only a handful of other officers have received this honor before. And switching gears now, what could have had a bit of a smelly situation is actually turning into a really supportive one. Ashley Zukalka shows us how one Knox County dispatcher's emotional support friend is making her days a lot easier at work.
This is Nugget. Nugget has been a part of the Knox County dispatch team for around 7 months as an emotional support animal. His owner, Heather Blandley, has had him for over 2 years. She says she would describe him as calm, sweet, and odorless.
Domestic skunks in Indiana have to be descented before you even get them. They're descented around 2 or 3 weeks of age.
Blandley adopted Nugget from the Indiana Skunk Rescue and also has 6 more skunks at home. Blandley says what started the journey was when her daughter brought Nugget home.
She went out and got Nugget and brought him home. Once he showed interest in me and not her, she gave up and he just kind of became mine.
Since then, Nugget has become a work favorite. When he is not eating his favorite snack, he is either laying on someone's lap or sniffing around for attention.
He's like a weighted blanket. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't make any noise. He just sits on my lap, and it's nice to have that distraction after a busy time.
Other employees also express how much they enjoy Nugget's presence and how much he helps during stressful days.
Just kind of hangs out with us and doesn't do a whole lot, and is just kind of a chill little animal. And after you have a big call, the dispatchers will tend to pet him or hold him or do whatever they need to just to kind of relax a little bit.
Blandley says she's grateful to have such supportive coworkers and sees the difference Nugget has made at work.
Like I said earlier, he's just the calm to my chaos.
And that was Ashley Zukalka reporting for us. Go Nugget Go. If you have a story for us, We'd like to hear about it. Just send it on over. We want to hear about all the good things happening where you live. Email newsdesk@WNCT.com. It's right there on your screen, newsdesk@WNCT.com. You can also reach out to me over on Facebook, or if you have a Twitter, on Twitter. Coming up in just a few minutes on 9 on the positive side, how one message is making a big change in classrooms. One student calls this room inside a Wisconsin high school chaotic in a beautiful way. Josh Spritzer takes us to a special classroom that's sharing love and reminding all of us that words do matter.
The sound of a sticky note seems pretty simple, but inside this English classroom, it has a new meaning.
Mom was a teacher, Dad was a teacher, Grandpa was a teacher, Uncle was a teacher. So education felt pretty much like a natural fit.
Jennifer Doucette has been working in education for close to 18 years now, and this right here,
it turned out way better than I ever thought,
is her classroom inside Waunakee Community High School.
I'm not opposed to them coming in and feeling shocked and, you know, not sure where to go, but then eventually finding kind of comfort in those notes.
From inspirational messages to beautiful works of art, both current and former students are leaving their mark.
I let them ask the questions. Things got weird, fast, in a really beautiful way to build connection.
I think it's really cool when you find like a Post-it note you can relate with.
Senior student Hannah Rada tells me finding that connection helps in making this sticky note classroom feel like home.
With Miss Doucette, like she's really a personal teacher and she gets to know you, and I think that's a really great way to connect with your students and like be able to help them learn and help them grow.
Even on the cloudiest day outside WCHS, inside, Miss Doucette is helping her students rewrite the narrative.
My vision for the room, you know, died in a day. So what became, however, is so much better. You know, my eyes, you know, grab onto a few notes when I look around the room, always. I love the words. I love the pictures.
And of course, she's got a few favorites posted right next to her desk, including this one, left by a former student who struggled with her mental health.
She left a note on my desk for me with a piece of writing, and the note just says, "The difference a year can make, never forget you make a difference." And so I keep it next to me for kind of rough days, to remind myself that this is like what I'm doing here. I will own that Post-it note for the rest of my life. Like, when these walls come down, that Post-it note will come with me.
And that was Josh Spritzer reporting. At the end of every school year, Miss Doucette laminates the new Post-its so they can be on display for years to come. She also has an Instagram page where she posts them to keep them living on forever. Now, check this out. A teenager in Maine is using Legos to set a world record. Let's get a closer look. This is 13-year-old Cooper Wright. He's been working on this for the last couple of months. He says he was told last month he could add Guinness World Record holder for building the largest Lego set to his list of accomplishments. It's called the Art World Map. The set has nearly 12,000 pieces, and he says he got it all done in just over 9 hours.
Okay, I like memorizing the pages of like what parts to put on, and so I don't have to keep glancing back at it. I can just look at it once and memorize what parts to put on. Like, yeah, pretty like photograph and memory, I guess.
All right, so we have to tell you what's next. Cooper's next Lego record attempt is the Eiffel Tower. He says he submitted a request to attempt this and is waiting to hear back from officials.
To see somebody have the ability to take their direction of life in a better direction is very rewarding.
I'm just very grateful and thankful for where God has brought me from.
Class 72 was full of success stories. Next on 9 on the positive side, we're learning more about their culinary journey and why their training could change the arc of their life story. A group of culinary students in Charlotte is looking forward to seeing some exciting and new possibilities in 2023. John Lee followed this group for months and the program that could impact their lives forever.
Helping folks realize success. It takes a village to do what we do.
The end of one chapter often provides the recipe for a fresh start.
You know, we're all on that path. Welcome to the Community Culinary School of Charlotte's graduation of Class 72.
Chef Ron Aller is executive director of a nonprofit that serves up ear-to-ear self-confidence.
Talk about a smile that's worth 1,000 words, right?
The Community Culinary School of Charlotte helps folks change the arc of their lives with free training.
Here I am graduating 14 weeks later.
See somebody have the ability to take their direction of life in a better direction is very rewarding. It always tickles me when we see people who care, that come and support those that are graduating.
But to fully appreciate their progress on graduation day, it might help if you saw their development from day one.
Start adding your celery, carrots, and onions.
Yeah.
Don't be shy, we're cooking for everybody in the room.
Chef Ron first lit a fire under them on September 19th, 2022.
So guys, just the film crew that you see, the two gentlemen are from Queen City News.
We set out to document Class 72's growth, overcoming barriers to long-term employment.
We have 24 strong culinarians who are allowing us the privilege of helping them learn the hospitality industry so they can go out and capture some of the success that they envision for themselves. Mix it around a little bit.
And right away, it's clear Kenneth Thompson is a flippin' natural who dreams of owning his own restaurant.
Easy does it.
My grandmother, she passed away in 2016. She's always had a passion of cooking, and she raised me, so I would just be right there in the kitchen with her, just watching her cook.
This culinary program leads students through a series of firsts, introducing them to the fundamental culinary term mirepoix back in September.
Celery, carrots, and onions, or the start for most soups, stocks, and sauces.
Then on October 17th, it's Sauce Making 101. From roux.
How's it looking?
Beautiful.
To bechamel sauce.
Now, once you start, you can't go to the bathroom or anything. You have to stay and finish it. It costs about $8 grand to put a student through our program. We don't take any money from them. We take their time and talent. And you see if you can make a line. Not bad. Well done.
The program sets them free personally and professionally.
To start the program because I was just looking for a change of lifestyle. Everybody loves onions.
A lot of onion.
Yoshi Creer was once hired to be the GM at an Atlanta hotel, but it took just 3 days to realize her heart is in the kitchen.
I took a survey of my life and said, what is it that I find myself doing when I don't have to do it? And that was cooking.
It's hard to overstate the hunger for an opportunity.
In the city of Charlotte, you all are worth $15 an hour minimum right now, wherever you go. Supply and demand.
By December, the budding cooks are so close they can taste it.
It took more than a pinch of persistence to get through 14 weeks, and now on graduation day, they get a chef coat that feels like a badge of honor.
That very coat I was holding goes to graduate Byron Haley.
This is only the beginning as I'm about to embark on my new journey as a full-time entrepreneur.
Community Culinary School of Charlotte will remember their names.
Yoshi.
Yoshi's shining moment was loud, proud, and beautiful.
This is my calling. It's my calling, so I have a lot to be able to build upon. I prayed, I wasn't happy, my soul wasn't feeling it. I was on the internet and seen, I still can't get the name right, Community Culinary School of Charlotte.
Bobby Lee Smith Jr.'s rise is really remarkable.
I'm just very grateful and thankful for where God has brought me from.
They've proven they can stand the heat.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Thompson.
I want to thank my family, my girlfriend for supporting me. Like Byron said, this is just the beginning.
Kenneth, the one who used to cook with his late grandma, took a big step.
She'll be like, I'm proud of you and you're pursuing your dream.
Whoop it up. That's it for those graduates. But first, I need all the graduates up here for a picture, please.
A total of 21 grads now have the skills to dream on.
Hey.
And these new faces in the local culinary world need just one more ingredient. Say cheese.
Then we all am I there? All right, now let's get jiggy with it. All right, come on, let's get jiggy.
In Charlotte, John Lee, Queen City News.
And congratulations to all those grads. If you're looking for more good news, just go to our website, WNCT.com. You're looking at it right there. There you'll find these stories and more under the 9 on the Positive Side tab. You can also find it under features. We have all of our 9 on the Positive Sides shows too over there for you to watch if you'd like to.
It's too easy.
The gumption it takes to be able to say, I'm going to go out and do that. Who has that kind of confidence?
Me.
A 13-year-old from Kentucky who was born without legs is stopping at nothing to go for his dreams. Meet the teen who's hitting threes with the ease of Steph Curry. A touching story now of inspiration. CBS's Steve Hartman goes on the road for a story about a teenager who has never met a challenge he couldn't conquer.
Technically, 13-year-old Josiah Johnson of Louisville, Kentucky has a disability. But almost no one sees it because Josiah doesn't see it. Although born without legs, the kid has yet to find his kryptonite. Always did everything the other kids did. But that invincibility was put to the test last fall when Josiah decided to try out for the one sport where altitude is everything. The Moore Middle School basketball team.
At this point, you may be wondering, why didn't he just join a wheelchair basketball team? It would certainly be a lot easier. Well, Josiah says, exactly.
It was easy. It was too easy.
You wanted more of a challenge?
Yeah.
The gumption it takes to be able to say, I'm going to go out and do that. Who has that kind of confidence?
Me.
But his mother Whitney says it's not just confidence, it's stubbornness.
Josiah is very competitive, and if he feels like something is too easy, he's not going to do it.
Still, Josiah knew making the team was a long shot. Fortunately, though, Josiah turned out to be pretty good at long shots. He made the team on his merits. And over the last few months has become a real contributor, getting offensive rebounds, assists, and because of his unique position on the floor, he has caused more than a few turnovers.
He started taking the ball from people. He took the ball from me. I was mad. You would have thought Steph Curry was in the gym.
But his teammates say his best play was a couple weeks ago.
It was just a moment that I'm going to remember for like ever.
It was the end of the game, seconds remaining. Josiah shoots from 3, and again, his disability disappeared.
What do you want people to take away from this?
To do something that they thought they couldn't do.
Josiah Johnson, inspiration and proof that all you need to stand above is confidence. Steve Hartman on the road in Louisville, Kentucky.
Inspiration to all of us. Thanks for joining us for 9 on the Positive Side. One last thing, though, a parade made for some of our favorite four-legged pals. Have a great weekend, everyone.